Hey, how you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Good, good. You know,
Good
how's
to
you?
see you. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. I mean, we first met in 2018, so
Yeah,
that
I was
that
just thinking about this with my dad.
cool, cool. How old were you then when you did Melodic Rock Fest 5?
I would have been very young. I'm trying to think, probably maybe 15, 16.
Yeah, I bet you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, a while ago. But yeah, lots happened since then.
yeah, yeah. You're doing great, huh?
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, it's been fantastic, and I can't wait to be back. Well, sort of in the US to play Monsters of Rock next year.
Cool, cool.
Yeah,
That's a
excited.
great show, you know. So
I'm very
so tell me a little bit. The first song that I guess you might have recorded was "Stand."
yes.
Yeah. So there was nothing.
Before that, I released a single called "Talk About It." That was the first single. Stand was actually. I'm trying to think of when we wrote things, but I think "Walking on Fire" was actually written before "Stand," and then we put "Stand" out in between the two. Um, but this is obviously before the debut record.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it's been a fun journey. Had a few setbacks recently, but come out stronger and try and reevaluate and yeah, get back into it, get back into the game.
Cool, cool. I mean, I was reading, your history already. History, look, you're a young woman, history, So, you had two EPs that came out, one in 2019, Broken Hearted, and
Yeah.
also Flirt in 2021, 5 tracks. And I was reading both are sold out.
Yeah, they are. It's kind of it's pretty cool because some people will write to me even now and say like, "Can I get my hands on one of those?" And I'm like, "I don't even have one of those. Like, I literally sold my one."
Uh,
Because people it was it is quite a sought after item now, which is pretty fun. And yeah, I'm just really grateful to the people who have supported me since then. Like Broken Hearted had a really great response. Flirt had an even better response, and now with the debut record that came out in 2023, it's been mental, like since it's been fantastic to see people get around the music. And there are a couple of tracks from the EP that I was like very passionate on. Like, I want to put these on the debut because they really mean a lot to me. And
right.
luckily, I have a really great team in Frontiers that they kind of see my vision for things and where things I want things to go, and they're very good at working together, and it's a good partnership.
Right, yeah. Now, your first full length, New Sensation, came out in 2023. How was that received?
The reaction to New Sensation's been insane. Like, even we just completed a European tour with Harem Scarem, and a lot of people like, I love New Sensation on the other side of the world that I've never played before, which was, I remember going out before the Spain show, and it was our first show mainland Europe, and there was this line, and I'm like, what's that line for? And these guys like came up to me, and they've got New Sensation and like printouts and like the album for me to sign, and it just blew my mind because you're half a world away, and I can't believe that people consume my music half a world away. The reaction's been great. It's New Sensation has really opened a lot of doors for me. It's brought me to other parts of the world. Like I've been to the UK like 3 times now,
Right.
which is fantastic. I've been to mainland Europe. Going to America next year. There's a lot of other things on the cards for next year as well, which is exciting. But yeah, when music does that for you, it's just I feel very grateful that people are enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying actually making it.
Right, yeah. You just mentioned that you might do United States next year. Is that a full tour? Or is it just the Monsters of Rock?
That's kind of up in the air at the moment. I think it'll probably just be Monsters of Rock, but it is something that we're looking into. Doing the US at some point is something that we're looking into. I know there's been a lot of people have been asking a lot of questions around that. It mostly depends on other touring opportunities as well, because we do have some other very exciting things next year. And it seems like they might be directly after the cruise. So yeah, I hope so, but it just depends obviously on routing and everything like that.
Cool, cool. How's your relationship with Paul Laine right now?
Awesome. No, Paul, I always speak about, he's probably thinking, this girl just calls me a second dad or a fun uncle in every interview. But seriously, this man has like, he's done so much for me, so much for my family, and like I cannot thank him enough for the amount of support and guidance that I've had from him, especially with recent events. Like Paul was literally one of the first people like my family called, and we spoke to him for ages. And you know, when people disappoint you in your life, Paul's always, and especially in the music industry, he knows his way around the music industry. So it was very good for me to be able to hear some perspective, like a perspective from someone that's been through it or been through similar things. And he's just, you know, obviously he was very involved in the new single Stronger. And that was something that I wanted to do. I said to him, I said, I need to try and, you know, put something out in what I can say, because obviously very restricted in what you can talk about online, and nor do I want to. I don't like the negativity. I'm all about going up and trying to be positive with things. So it's been great to work with Paul recently and in previous years, and I will continue to work with him as much as he wants to work with me.
Cool, cool, cool. And how's Frontiers treat you? And how'd you get signed to them?
Frontiers, I have nothing but fantastic things to say about them. They have been so good to me. Obviously, I got signed to them when I was 19, so I was their youngest signing. And it was just an amazing, it's been a fantastic relationship with them from the very beginning. I love the team there. It's awesome to see how, you know, things have evolved as well since I've been signed. I have obviously some new music coming out with them. I have another really exciting project with them as well. It's very cool to see, you know, and so many people that I grew up listening to are signed to Frontiers. So it's exciting to kind of see those bands like consume my music, and you know, I consume theirs, and yeah, it's been the best experience ever, and I'm definitely a Frontiers girl.
Did any musicians help you in getting signed to Frontiers?
Yeah, look, a lot of people put out the feelers. One of my friends, Stuart, he was one. Paul obviously put out the feelers as well. But when I did get signed, I spoke to the head myself, and he has been absolutely lovely to me. He's been so supportive of my career and what I envision for the whole Cassidy Paris brand and where to go with it from this point onwards. And it was fantastic also to meet them all at Frontiers Fest this year, because you see these names online and you jump on Zoom calls with them all the time, but when you get to put the name to the face, it's so much better. And it was great to be able to hug them all and you know, speak to them about everything. And they got to see a live show, which was exciting as well. But yeah, I'm very happy.
Okay. Why did you decide to go into music? Was it your dad, Steve's, you know, doing, or you just wanted it?
I just wanted it. And I kind of explain it like this because some people, obviously, with my dad being in the music industry before myself, my brother is very sporty, very athletic. And he gave the music thing a shot, but like by no means were my parents saying music is what you've got to do. And I think that it was something that my dad was like, hey, if you want to learn guitar, if you want to take vocal lessons, like you can do it. But my parents always gave me the option. And they always said, we want you to be happy, and whatever that is that you want to do, whatever makes you happy, then we'll be there to support you. And yeah, like I said, my brother's chosen a completely different route, and that's completely fine. I just love music so much, and I think through all the events of my life so far, and obviously I'm quite young, it's been a lot of the times the only thing that's kept me standing. And recently it was the only thing that like I would want to get out of bed for, was to make music and to, get up and sing all right.
Cool, cool. Now, when you go on the road and do shows and stuff, your dad's part of your band, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so your mother don't have to worry about anything.
She comes along occasionally. She came to a couple of the European shows earlier this year. I think she'll be coming to the Monsters of Rock, I think. It depends though, obviously. Yeah, I think that I love getting to see the world with my parents. That's a really fun thing for me. And recently something that I've learned is that people can say what they want about me and my dad being on stage, but I'm we're the ones in charge of that. And I don't know why people seem to have such a big issue with it, because it's like one of the most fun things in the world to me, and it really does mean a lot to me and to him, and that bond is something that we've shared since I was a little girl. And so be it if my dad's on stage with me. He protects me like no one else, and he's my number one supporter, and when he wants to make the decision to step away from it, then that's his decision, and he's the only one that's going to be making that decision.
I would think being having your dad on stage with you is fantastic.
I think so too. But yeah, you'd be surprised how many people have an issue with it, which is absolutely crazy to me. But yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
I remember at the Melodicrock Fest 5, all you had was promo photos available for merchandise and stuff like that. And how is it to sign them? How people ask you for autographs, like you're so young. It's like, I'm only 15, like, hey.
I remember that, and I remember this massive line as well, and I was like, what is going on? But Melodic Rock Fest is actually, like, obviously it's it's a really fond memory of mine, because it was literally probably one of the first times I ever played electric live. And obviously I played one song with Paul, and then I did the acoustic opening for that fest, and it was just a really fun experience. I got to meet a lot of people, and it's kind of exciting now as well, because some people that were there are coming on the cruise, and they're like, I can't wait to see like a full debut of a live electric set. And I'm like, I can't wait to play either, because there's a lot of people that, a lot of friends as well that I made there and my dad made there that we can't wait to see and spend some time with. We had a bit of crossover as well at Frontiers Fest too. A couple of people that saw me at that first festival saw me at Frontiers, which was just so much fun to catch up and speak to everyone.
Did any of your material come out on vinyl?
No, but watch this space about that. Cool, yeah, cool. I'm very excited for the new music that's coming out. I'm very, very excited.
Oh, cool. What's it going to feel like with the new album coming out and it being on vinyl, instead of that little, CD and stuff like that? It's got to be amazing. And your father probably flipping about it.
I'm not allowed to say too much about anything yet, but no, I'm so excited for the new record. I think it's something. I just hope that people like it on sort of the same scale as what they did the first. I feel like putting out a sophomore record after you put out a debut that was well received is a big task for a lot of artists and bands. And the debut took me to so many different places. When we played European shows, people were really liking the new material, so that made me really happy to see that people were loving it so much. And I feel like, we spent a lot of time perfecting it, and there were a lot of people that had their hands in the pie with this one. A lot of really fantastic, great, talented musicians. Obviously, I mentioned Paul. I recorded and co-wrote a little bit with a man named Dragon from Roxas. He was in a band called Roxas that were very big in Australia. And he recorded all my vocals and co-wrote a couple of things. We also had Steve Brown. He had a bit of a part in it as well. There are a couple of people that obviously Pete Newdeck as well. He produced the recent single Stronger, Aldo Lanabile. I feel very lucky because there are a lot of talented musicians that I had the opportunity to work with, and I will never take that for granted. And I will always be so grateful to those people, because without them, you're nothing.
So far in your history, what was your favorite show or experience?
Frontiers Fest was pretty fun this year. I loved Frontiers Fest, and I think just the European tour this year was pretty wild. It was my first bus tour, and I've never been on a bus tour before. And I was speaking about with the Harem guys, and I was like, I'm very excited for this, to be on a bus with you guys and just to get to chat to them. And I always speak about in interviews getting to meet bands that you grew up on and getting to chat to them and find out that they're really good people is like the best thing ever in the world. And I feel very lucky because Pete Lesperance, he actually he did a guest solo on the recent single Stronger. And they've just been so supportive of myself and my dad, and through everything happening the last 3 months, it's been great to see so many people get around the new era. And I feel very, very lucky that I was able to tour with such a lovely, kind-hearted band, and I have nothing but good things to say about everyone that was on that tour. The Harem guys were so good.
Oh, cool. Can you tell me anything about the new album? Will it be out this year? How many songs? Or I know you can't say much, so any information.
It's funny because when I talk about the new album, I've got to be very, very careful what I say. I was doing an interview the other day, and I actually accidentally mentioned the name of it, and I was like, "Can you just bleep that out?" Because it's obviously I've been working on it for so long. I think with the new album, something I can say is that there was a late addition to the new album. Obviously Stronger has just been released, and it was a song that I really needed to put out there. And like I said, online, I'm a very positive person. I don't like the negativity. I'm always about trying to move up with things. And, there's so many negative things in the world. I don't want to create that kind of space anywhere. And Stronger is something that I needed to put out as a message to people, because people that are very close to you sometimes as well disappoint you. And I think that's something that I learned really the hard way. After my experiences with bullying in high school, I kind of I think was a little bit in the dark that, there's people that will continue to do that in your adulthood, and there's people that will continue to do that are closer to you than you think. And I don't say very much obviously about what happened with everything, but what I will say is that if I would have been out there doing that UK headline tour, rain, hail or sunshine, I have never cancelled a show in my life. And I was very much not put in the position where I could do anything about it. And Stronger is a message that I wanted to put out there for everyone, to show people that even if it's out of your control, you can come out being stronger. And it was so important for me to deliver that message to everyone, because I wanted people to know that I'm very much in this. I am more passionate, and I want this more than anything right now. And I think that situation really did give me a lot of perspective on the music industry and how people can be in it for the wrong reasons. But Stronger was that late addition to the album. And it's something that Frontiers and I kind of discussed, because it was going to be a standalone single. initially, and I said, they said to me, they were like, "Hey, look, we'd love to have it on the album," and I was like,
Right.
"I'd love to have him on the album." I didn't know that was a possibility. So that's something that's been a late addition. So some people that grabbed the record at the European shows doesn't have the doesn't have Stronger on it, but it's something that kind of both the record label and myself were pushing for, and I feel very lucky because I think this song Stronger and the next single that I released coming up soon,
Right.
kind of two jigsaw pieces that need to be together, and it feels very much like I've told the story I needed to tell after these two singles are out.
Cool, cool. Can you stop your video right now and jump back on? Because the last 5 minutes, your screen is frozen.
Yes, I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, you're good.
Working. Okay, fantastic. I don't know
Cool.
why this is happening. I had this in another interview the other day too.
Wow.
I'm using a Mac, so it's strange.
Cool, cool. So tell me, what was your favorite Christmas gift your parents gave you?
My favorite Christmas gift. Oh, I got a Squire 1 year for my birthday. And obviously it's a bit of a full circle thing for me because I'm endorsed by Fender now. And
Right.
I was saying this to, I think I was saying it on stage. I played the Melbourne Guitar Show with Fender earlier this year. And I'm not lying when I say that, like, I've always been a Fender girl. I remember receiving that. And there's got to be some video of it somewhere.
Right.
It's crazy to think that, you know, when you're gifted a guitar at that age and then to be endorsed by them, and Fender have just been so good to me. I love the team worldwide. There are a lot of people that I work with worldwide. We actually made Cassidy Paris times Fender guitar picks, which was a cool project as well for all of us to work on. And I know a couple of people in the European shows that have just come to see the European shows will have their hands on that. But yeah, that's definitely my favorite present because it represents something in my life, and I feel like the foreshadowing there couldn't have been better. But I feel very lucky because not many people get to say that, and the brand is obviously such, you know, a fantastic brand to work with, and people love Fender. Yeah.
Cool, cool. Now, when you go do shows, is there anything particular you like to eat?
Everything. No, I recently being on the European tour, I was trying a lot because we obviously were on a bus tour, and then we went to the venues, and then there was the rider, and the rider was like meats and cheeses and all these picky bits, and then we'd have like stew for dinner and stuff. And obviously I've got a quite a sensitive stomach, so I've got to be very careful what I eat before I go on stage,
Right.
as would most musicians before they get on stage. Especially when you're like the second band on or the first band on, you've got to be very careful what you eat because you're going on quite early. And I think that I can't wait to try some of the food in the US next year. I'm very excited about that. Obviously, I've been to the US before. I love the food in the US. A lot of people contest this, but I love the food in the US. I did like the European food, but you guys, like Chicago, for instance, nails that like pizza pie situation.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan. I think it was one of our friends introduced us Giordano's, I think it is. And it's the most delicious pizza. Some people call it a pie, but it's the most delicious pizza I've ever had, and I can't wait.
Cool. Do you cook anything yourself at home?
I'm not a huge cook. I will cook like salmon and salmon. No, I can cook if I needed to. And I do cook occasionally, but it's probably something that I could get a little bit better at. Maybe I need to, like, I wouldn't be writing a cookbook anytime soon, guys, so don't expect that from me. I'm not very much an adventurous person with my cooking, but I think I will get better as I get older.
Cool, cool, cool. Is there anything you collect at all?
Hmm. I do collect guitar picks actually. It's funny actually. The time previous to the time I met you in the States, I was actually at another festival with my dad. He was playing with his band,
Uh-huh,
and I remember, and I've told Chip from Chips and from Enough's Enough about this before.
uh-huh,
I remember we were listening to Enough's Enough. I've been listening to it since I was a little girl because my dad's such a big fan. And I remember he was playing New Thing and he like flicked out his guitar pick and literally landed like on my nose, like I kid you not. And I was like, I caught it. I caught the guitar pick. And my dad
uh-huh.
was like, you know what? I think this is like, you need to collect now. And in my dad's studio, we have them like kind of around the archway of the door
Uh-huh.
and there's different guitar picks. So we've been collecting for a while. My dad is like a huge collector.
Uh-huh.
I've got like a few posters in my corner here,
Uh-huh.
but he's a huge collector of like posters and guitar picks, tickets.
Uh-huh.
Like if we're on tour and my dad sees something that we can collect, like I think you can see in the background, kind of
Right.
over
Yeah.
there somewhere. It's a Cassidy Paris stage door
Uh-huh.
from Frontiers Fest, and he was like, "I'm taking this." It's just a piece of paper, obviously, but he's a big collector like that, and he will protect it and guard it with his life.
Wow.
Um, I I don't think I have the same ability to keep something straight in my suitcase when you're on tour, but time will tell, I guess.
Cool, cool. Did your dad tell you that I copped some guitar picks from you?
Yes,
Did
yes,
he?
he
Yeah.
did. Actually, that's the conversation we were just having before I coming in here. He said, "You know what? I think Brian has like a few of your guitar picks because I sent we did a swap or I sent some or
Yeah.
you gave him some last time we were over."
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Oh, cool. Okay, so you're a guitar pick collector then."
Yeah, yeah. I'm a big collector. I got about 9,000. So I'm getting there.
9,000.
Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. That's so.
yeah, yeah.
I have a couple of leader forward ones actually. Someone a guy that was helping me out with management back in the day,
Uh,
a couple of years ago. He sent me Leader Ford guitar picks, and it's
uh-huh.
cool because Leader Ford's obviously on the cruise next year. So
Right, yeah.
I'm very excited. I'm a huge Leader Ford Runaways fan, so it'll be exciting to be playing on the same stage as her.
Cool, cool. How much of an influence was your dad going into music, you going into music?
Oh, huge. I remember going like it doesn't exist anymore in Melbourne, but there was a Hard Rock Cafe in Melbourne, and I remember my dad used to play there like quite consistently. And I remember as a little girl being put in the little high chair there and
Huh?
sitting and watching my dad. And I don't remember it, but I've seen photos of it. And I feel like that was kind of just my life growing up. And I think definitely like I lived a very like guarded and very I was brought into that kind of industry in a very safe kind of circle, which is probably why I went through such a difficult thing, understanding why people can act to such way this year, because my circle in music has always been so protective and so loving and supportive. So when and it was also strange because when I was in high school, that was the industry that I felt like that area is kind of where I felt accepted. So going into such a difficult situation this year was really hard for me because music has always been like the really happy, good thing, or the music industry and people in it has always been the really happy, good thing about my life. So to have that was a difficult thing. But yeah, my dad's always been like a massive influence on me. I can't remember a time where like we're not listening to, you know, like Kiss music or Dio, or like I was brought up on a range of different artists as well. Obviously my dad's motto, and I say this in basically every interview, is a good song is a good song. So he's got a very, you know, he doesn't have a narrow mind in terms of like music, and I think consuming, you know, some different things recently, and even like I love country rock as
Right.
well. Obviously Paul has kind of dabbled in that area too, and he's done a lot of cool things with that. So yeah, it's been great to kind of see how my dad and I's relationship has evolved as I've gotten older, and you know, start to put out my own music and have my own visions for things too.
Right. Yeah. Merchandise. Can you tell me about any merchandise and where people could pick it up?
Yeah. Well, if you go to CassidyParis.com, you can pick it up anywhere. But we actually just recently, and it was something that I really wanted to push for as well. We put out, after the release of Stronger teas. So people can pick those up at the moment. They're on my website, and I can't wait to see people sporting them. The response to it, to the release of the t-shirts, has been great. So thank you everyone who has purchased a t-shirt. Obviously that's the kind of stuff that keeps musicians out on the road, and we feel so grateful that people like the merch that we put out, and we always try to make it fun and exciting, and not some, you know, boring t-shirt design that no one wants to wear. So I hope people are loving it.
What kind of impact is it when you see, you know, you're doing a show or whatever, and you see somebody with your shirt on, you know?
It's crazy. It's funny actually. I'm receiving at the moment, like some people will send me like they're at a festival and they're wearing a Cassidy Paris t-shirt. Like a couple of people like will send me like things at Sweden Rock or on the Monsters of Rock cruise, and you know, like it's just so cool to see that people are so supportive, and people are loving the merch and sporting it everywhere. It's a great feeling. And I, this past weekend, I had a couple of people just send me photos of them at a festival in the UK, just wearing the Cassidy Paris shirts, and I thought that was so sweet. I really appreciated that.
Cool, cool. And what's the next step? What are you up to? What are you doing? What's the rest of the year look like?
A very busy rest of the year, and a very busy 2026 too. So I'm wrapped. I'm so excited to be on this, you know, new era, be in this new era and on this new journey. I feel like you know, I've really reevaluated, and I've had time to heal and grow from things that I didn't think I would have to experience this year. But ultimately, the whole situation did make me stronger, and I feel ready more than ever to show people what I'm about. And for me, it's about working with good people, and I am very excited because I get to good people coming into this new era, and I can't wait to show people what we've been working so hard on.
Well, Cassidy, it was great talking to you after whatever 8, 10 years and stuff. Seeing
I
you.
know, I know,
Yeah.
it's wild. I love having these interviews with people that I've met in person, or people that
Uh-huh.
I've spoken to a while ago. It's so much fun.
Cool, cool. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
G'day to everyone. Thank you so much for your support coming into this new era. If you've been following me for a while, thank you so much for being there since the beginning. And a huge thanks to Brian for having me on today.
Cool. Thanks a lot. See you later.
Thank you. See you
Bye bye.
later.